Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in my kitchen, so you guys know what that means. I'm showing you the dinner recipes that I made this week. You guys know I'm still on a weight loss journey. The journey to 140 is still in full force. I'm almost there, you guys. I have like 3-4 pounds to go. And you guys know I'm forever on a mission to cook bomb, delicious, flavorful food that does not break the caloric bank. Also, I have seen you guys requesting my sweet potato black bean enchilada recipe that I've shared in a few videos. And today is the day I'm gonna show you guys step by step exactly how to make that as well. I'm also super excited because today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh Canada. You guys, I am the biggest HelloFresh fan. Listen, not to toot my own horn, I know I'm a pretty good cook now, but back in 2018, 2019, I was not the best cook, and I ordered so many HelloFresh boxes just because A, they're super convenient having everything delivered to your house, and B, the variety of recipes that you get to choose from in different cuisines really just gave me confidence in the kitchen, gave me ideas to cook new things. These are all the HelloFreshes that I personally ordered myself and paid for, and some of my favorite recipes that I kept like over the years just because I love them so much. This is actually one of Justin and my favorite HelloFresh meals. I make this all the time. It could not have come at a better time for me this week, you guys. With Christmas coming up, it saved me a trip to the grocery store. I got my HelloFresh box delivered with literally everything I needed to create dinner for that week. You guys can choose if you're cooking for 2 people or 4 people. When you open your box, you'll see your recipe cards. These are the recipes I chose this week, but you can also choose meatless recipes. You can have family-friendly recipes. I don't eat fish, so I always get fish-free recipes. Even better, each recipe comes in this little recyclable and compostable bag. Inside here is literally everything you're gonna need. And then underneath these bags, you have your protein served with ice packs. So if you're not gonna be home for your delivery, it's okay. Everything is kept really cool and really nicely. So before I get into the recipes, if you guys want to try HelloFresh Canada for yourself, enter my code AmyNick16. I'm putting it on the screen at checkout, and you can get up to 16 free meals and free shipping. That's crazy. It's an insane deal. Honestly, I had so much fun cooking HelloFresh. So let's get into these recipes. So we started out the week with the Pinoy style chicken adobo. Literally would never have thought to cook this on my own, but it was such a hit. You guys know I'm a big fan of cooking Asian recipes on my channel, and it was actually HelloFresh that got me into doing this and got me comfortable and realizing that I actually really loved Asian food. So this recipe is definitely going to be in regular rotation. You'll need soy sauce, garlic, bok choy, basmati rice, onions, and carrots, and then of course your protein. Here I am just mincing up the garlic cloves before peeling our carrots and then cutting them into half moons. So I cut them down the middle and then just slice them. I also am preparing our bok choy, so I'm just cutting that into 1-inch slices. I of course wash my produce, obviously. Now the protein in this recipe called for chicken thighs, but I actually opted for chicken breast. I'm not a chicken thigh girl, so I'm just seasoning these with salt and pepper and then the crushed black peppercorns. I like to season both sides of my chicken to make it flavorful. You guys can see also one chicken breast is bigger because I cut my chicken breast into fillets, and then I'm also very particular about cutting the veins out and trimming the fat. I like my chicken breast very, very thin. I also added garlic powder, which the recipe did not call for here, which I'm doing just because you guys know I live for my garlic. So you can also tweak up HelloFresh recipes to your liking. Here I'm just going to get started on our rice. So I'm adding enough water to cover our rice. I believe it was 1.5 cups, and just throwing in the basmati rice and then cooking that covered. And then it's time to get started on the chicken. So taking a tablespoon of oil over medium-high heat, we're going to sear our chicken breasts until they are golden brown on each side. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes for our thin pieces, and then like 4 to 5, 6 minutes for the thicker piece. When they are seared, I'm just going to turn them right over, and after they're the same color on either side, just take them right off and add them into a baking dish for later. On the same pan, I'm adding a teaspoon more of olive oil, and I'm dumping in our onions. I love that HelloFresh sends the onions already pre-sliced because slicing onions is the bane of my existence, and I always cry. Once your onions have softened, you're going to go ahead and add in the garlic. And then I'm also adding in 2 packets of the soy sauce mirin blend. If I was making this at home, I would just add soy sauce. And then a half tablespoon of sugar right into this. You're going to bring this to a boil, and once it starts to boil and thicken, you're going to remove this from the heat until you get like a nice onion jam like this. And then you're just going to go ahead and add that over your chicken in the baking dish. And then we're going to be baking the chicken for about 12 minutes in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit until it is completely cooked through to your liking. While that chicken's cooking, I'm adding the carrots to a pan and also a half cup of water over medium heat. I had never cooked carrots this way actually, and it's pretty genius. Once the water evaporated, I added a tablespoon of oil and our bok choy, and then I just basically cooked that up until the vegetables were tender crisp before adding some garlic. This wasn't called for in the recipe, but you guys know I'm literally garlic obsessed. I just want everything to have nice garlic infusion. And once your vegetables are tender crisp as so, just set them aside and cover them before wiping the pan clean, adding another teaspoon of oil, the rest of the garlic, and then just swishing that around to make a nice garlic oil. I'm then taking the rice that we previously boiled and I'm adding this right into the pan, and you're going to let that cook together for about 2 to 3 minutes just to reheat the rice and coat it in your garlic oil. And then it's time for serving, you guys. So I'm taking some rice. This is my portion here. I go lighter on the rice. I then give a nice healthy serving of the veggies, you guys. I never skimp on veggies, and these veggies were absolutely delicious. Then we just top each serving with our chicken. Guys, I was feeling pretty proud of myself today because I tried with the presentation and it actually looked a lot like the picture. And this meal was so delicious, you guys. We will definitely be putting it into rotation. So the next meal I'm doing are my black bean and sweet potato enchiladas, you guys. This is a vegetarian meal that anyone will love, even the meat lovers. So you're going to start off with 2 medium sweet potatoes cut down the middle, and I'm lightly brushing each of the flat sides with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. You're then going to flip those over and bake those in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes until they're soft. Here's everything else you're pretty much going to need: a jalapeno, some lime, garlic, flour tortillas, black beans, some feta cheese, these old El Paso diced chilies, and then just some regular shredded cheese. I went with cheddar. So to start, we are preparing our garlic by mincing it. I did a whole head of garlic because, again, I can't say it in every video, but I'm literally obsessed. I make every recipe have a lot more garlic than is necessary. And then I'm also thinly slicing our jalapeno peppers. I de-seeded these before to get rid of the heat. You're going to zest your lime. I was struggling with my zesting of the lime, and also juice both of your limes as well and set that aside for later. And then it's time to get started on the enchilada sauce. So you're going to want to put some vegetable broth, apple cider vinegar, olive oil, and tomato paste right by the oven because this comes together very quickly. And then you're going to mix together 3 tablespoons of flour, a tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. You really want to do oregano, and a pinch of cinnamon. And then just mix this all together until it's combined, and also put that by the pan. Over medium heat, I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And you're going to want to let that get nice and hot. You'll know it's ready when you can sprinkle a little bit of the spice mixture in like I did here, and it starts sizzling. So then you can go ahead and dump the whole spice mixture in and start whisking that together until it deepens in color and forms a paste, and it starts to become a little more fragrant. You're then going to want to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and do the same thing. Whisk this around. It will be very clumpy at this point. Don't worry, you haven't done anything wrong. Then you're going to want to slowly add in your vegetable broth. I use 2 cups, and I basically whisk this out until there are no clumps remaining. So I'm slowly adding it bit by bit until it's all added in and your sauce is really nice and smooth. I'll then increase our heat to medium-high and bring this to a simmer, and then lower the heat as necessary, letting it simmer until it thickens. It takes about 5 minutes. Once your sauce is thickened to your liking, add in a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and season with salt and pepper, and remove it from the heat and save it till later. At this time, your potatoes should be done. They should be looking something like this. I like to let them cool because Lord knows they are super hot to the touch. When your potatoes are cool enough to be handled, I start scooping out the filling, so just our sweet potato, removing them from the skins, into a bowl. And then I'm going to mash them together just to make them a little bit smoother. They're going to be easier to work with because we're making our enchilada filling. To this, I'm going to add in our drained and rinsed black beans. This is just 1 can. I'm also adding in our diced green chilies. You can use habanero peppers if you can't find these. I'm adding our garlic, our jalapeno, and then a 1/2 cup of chopped feta. I just like to make it pretty fine. I'm also adding in some of our cheese. I used regular medium cheddar, but you could use Monterey Jack. I'm doing seasonings. I'm going to put the seasonings below, but I know I'm doing cumin in here, and I'm doing some chili powder, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper for a little extra heat, and adding our lime juice in. And then we're going to mix our filling together, making sure everything is really nicely combined. You can also add some salt and pepper as well to your taste. Then we are taking a baking dish. I am taking half of the enchilada sauce we made earlier. I'm pouring this into an oven-safe baking dish, just enough to coat the bottom because you don't want your flour tortillas to stick. And then I'm going ahead and using 7-inch flour tortillas. I like to look at the calories on these. These ones are only 90 calories per tortilla. Taking some of our mixture, filling it right down the center like I'm doing here. And then you're just going to fold your tortilla and place that right into the baking dish. I like to get 6 tortillas into this baking dish, and actually you get 2 dinners out of 6 tortillas because we usually have 1.5 to 2. And you also have enough filling to freeze so you can make this dish at a later time without having to make the filling. So I love this meal because I get so many dinners out of it. Once you've done that, pour the rest of the enchilada sauce on top of your tortillas. Sorry, my camera was not recording that. And then top with the cheese of your choice. And then you're going to bake that in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. While that's baking, I'm going to take some sour cream and add that to the lime zest that we zested earlier and make a lime crema. I just mix it together literally with the lime zest, add some salt and pepper. Here I'm adding some spicy garlic. Give it a nice mix and refrigerate it. And then I'm also going to take some fresh cilantro and chop that, as well as some red onions. I like a lot of red onions, you guys. Once your enchiladas come out of the oven, they should look a little something like this. You're pretty much done. I feel like it's the toppings that take this next level. I'm just going to sprinkle on our red onions and our cilantro to give it some color. And boom, you guys. Doesn't this look so good? I'm telling you, even if you have a staunch meat eater in your life, they will love this. Like, Justin prefers to eat meat, but he lives for this dinner. And I just served this with our lime crema on the side as a complete meal. It is so filling and so delicious. For our final meal, we are creating another HelloFresh recipe. This is the pork schnitzel patties with warm Brussels salad and lemon aioli from my boss. Here's everything you'll need. You're going to need Brussels sprouts, kale, mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, breadcrumbs, 2 lemons, some sweet potatoes, some shallots, and fresh parsley. I'm starting out by taking our sweet potatoes and dicing these into 1-inch cubes. You guys, cutting sweet potato is such a struggle for me, but I made it through. You're then going to want to toss your sweet potatoes once they're sliced with 1 tablespoon of olive oil and some salt and pepper, and you're going to bake those in the oven at 450 degrees for about 20 to 22 minutes. I'm then preparing my Brussels sprouts. I had already taken off the outer layer, and then I'm just slicing these into thin slices. So I slice my sprouts halfway lengthwise and then just cut them into thin little strips. I'm also mincing our garlic. Again, I upped the garlic in this recipe. I did a lot more garlic than was called for, to be honest, and added it to our sauce. And I'm also thinly slicing our shallots lengthwise as well. Shallots, not shallots. As well as rough chopping our parsley. Also to prep, we're going to zest our lemon and set that aside for later for our lemon aioli. And we're also going to juice our lemon as well and set that aside. And then it's time to get started on our meat. So this is 500 grams of ground pork. I'm adding in some of our garlic, half of our parsley, also some garlic powder. Again, wasn't called for, but you guys know me. I'm also adding the Dijon mustard that came with the HelloFresh box. There were 2 packets of this, which I think probably made about a tablespoon. And then this was the garlic puree that came in the HelloFresh box. So you really didn't need to add extra garlic, but you guys know how I am. I did totally feel like there was not enough Dijon mustard, so I actually have this on hand at home. So I added in another teaspoon or 2. And then you're just going to mix all of this together until it's combined. I know, mixing raw meat with your hands on camera, living. I then deviated from the recipe card. Instead of making these into 4 big patties, I made them into 8 smaller patties. So I'm just making them into balls here before flattening them out into pretty flat 1-inch thick patties, or 1/2 inch thick rather. The thinner they are, the more evenly and quicker they're going to cook, when you kind of want to do everything together, so this can really be a 30-minute meal. Once you've made your patties, you're going to put your breadcrumbs into a shallow dish and place each patty into the breadcrumbs. Push it in both sides because we're making schnitzels. You guys know schnitzels have that crunch to them, so our breadcrumb coating is giving it that. Once you've done this to all 8, you're going to heat up about a 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil over medium-high heat, and I'm adding our patties right into this pan. whilst these cook about 4 or 5 minutes on each side, I'm gonna make our lemon garlic aioli. So I'm taking our mayonnaise and putting this right into the dish along with the lemon zest that we had already zested. I'm then adding the rest of the parsley, a little bit of the garlic that I reserved back, the lemon juice as well, half of our lemon juice, saving the other half for later, and half a teaspoon of sugar, some salt and pepper, and then you're just gonna mix this together and set aside. You guys, the sauce is actually so delicious. Like, Justin and I die for a good lemon sauce. We're actually gonna make this all the time now and then use it for potatoes even. It would be really good. Once your patties are brown on one side, flip them over like I'm doing here and cook them again on the other side. And whilst you're doing that, you're going to heat up 2 tablespoons of butter over medium heat, and we're going to add our Brussels sprouts and our shallots right in and coat them with the butter mixture. Once those have cooked down a good bit, I'm then going to go ahead and add in our chopped kale as well. Combine all of this together and give it a mix around. I also reserved a little bit of garlic. This wasn't called for, and added this in because, again, garlic obsessed. And I added in the rest of our lemon juice and mix that around until tender crisp. And then, you guys, this was so unique. I had never had a warm Brussels salad before, but you start with your salad, you add some of those roasted sweet potatoes right on top, and then you top each of these salads with your patties. Now, I had this as a salad. Justin kind of likes it separate. I put my meat right on top. And then I serve this with the lemon aioli. And voila, here you go. Another meal. This one turned out, again, looking just like the picture and was so delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed this week of recipes. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. And I'll be back with another video really soon.